What's up, everybody? It's Justin Gaming here. Today I'm doing a dual commentary with a very special guest, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, everyone? It is TheStarkz here. Like my friend Justin said, we're going to be doing a dual commentary. We're both 16 and we're both Canadian gamers, so yeah, it should be interesting.
Alright, yeah, so this is actually a video that we've been wanting to do for a while now, but we've never actually gotten the chance. So since this is our first video together, we decided to basically introduce ourselves. We're going to be talking about our top 3 most anticipated games coming in the future. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be games that have been announced. These can be games that haven't been announced and games we just want. And then basically in between each game, we're also going to be answering a few questions. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Do you want to give us your number 3?
Yeah, sure. My number 3 would have to be a very special game called The Last of Us, except I want a sequel to it. The developers are Naughty Dog, and they're very creative. They're a very creative team, and they are known for their works of the Uncharted series, Crash Bandicoot, as well as Jax and Daxter, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And The Last of Us was an amazing game, in my opinion. I can't wait for them to bring out a second one if they do, just because I'd like to see the new environments and what Neil Druckmann and Josh Schur can do with the potential good story, I guess.
Yeah, alright, so, that's good.
Yeah, that's my number 3.
Okay, so moving on to my number 3, it's actually the new God of War coming to the PS4. So this was obviously announced at E3 2016 at Sony's press conference. And the funny thing about God of War is honestly that I haven't played a God of War game yet, which may seem kind of weird that I would put it in my top 3. But the thing is that God of War has been one of Sony's biggest franchises ever since the PS2, of course. And I just everywhere I go and talk about games with other people, I always hear God of War come up when it comes to PlayStation. And the fact that I've never played any of these games before, obviously because when God of War first came on the PS2, obviously being only 16, we were quite young back in the days when God of War originally launched. So we definitely wouldn't have really played those games. Since God of War is coming now on PS4, just judging from that one gameplay demo that we saw at E3, it looks absolutely amazing, and it looks like they're putting a much bigger emphasis on story compared to the other God of Wars. Yeah, and that's something obviously that I would like to see more games do, because obviously I feel like the story is something that's very important when it comes to gaming. Yeah, so God of War for my
top 3. No, I was gonna ask: is God of War, does it have to do with Greek mythology? Because if it does, then I'm definitely gonna get it.
So the thing was, I believe the first 3 God of Wars were Greek mythology, but I think this new one is gonna be doing Norse mythology. I'm pretty sure. So they're doing a different type of mythology with different gods and stuff. But nonetheless, I still think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my number 3.
Now
we could do our questions.
Now it's time for the question.
Yeah, so as we said earlier, we're going to be doing one question in between each game. So the very first question we have here is, if the Uncharted franchise was ever rebooted sometime in the future, where would you like to see the franchise go? So do you want to answer that?
I will. Yeah, I will. Personally, I'd like to see, like I told you earlier, a female version of Nathan Drake, except it focuses on Nathan Drake's daughter. Now we all know that Nathan Drake has a daughter, Cassie, I think.
Yeah.
And she seems like a very interesting character, the way she was, I guess acted on screen in Uncharted 4: Thief's End, the prologue. And I know a lot of people may be a little bit skeptical on it, I guess, just because there is already a female version of an action game called Tomb Raider. but
Tomb Raider
I
with
still
Lara
think
Croft.
with the creative aspect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But I still think with Naughty Dog's creativity, they can pull off something really, really good with a reboot. And it doesn't even have to be Naughty Dog. Like any
yeah.
other developer
Hmm.
can take it as long as it's good and way better than the Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, which and 4, obviously, which is probably going to be a really tough thing to do.
Yeah,
However,
yeah.
it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I'd love to see a female version of Uncharted, I guess.
I feel like if they were to ever reboot it with Cassie Drake, I feel like honestly, it would be kind of hard to like top all the Uncharted games. But I feel like if
Would.
it yeah, it would. But if it was like even like around the same level of quality, that would already be really good. Like I just feel like um, if the studio that does pick up the Uncharted franchise eventually sometime in the future, like if they really put that emphasis on story and they're able to tell a good like narrative story, then I feel like it will be good. So yeah, but the thing I thought that would be really cool is like I just feel like if we saw like Cassie Drake, maybe if she was older, it would be like cool if we can see like a cameo of Nathan Drake when he's like really old. Like
Yeah.
I just thought that'd be kind of cool, you know, like
almost like what they did, almost with what they did with Nathan Drake's mom's friend. Like she basically died. They could do something like that with Nathan Drake. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like even just one scene with him, I think it would be pretty cool, you know, just to like, cause you want to like just leave that character like he was never there or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, the Uncharted franchise, yeah, I think something that we can see in the future is definitely more variety in locations if they were ever to reboot it, because I feel like the thing with like the thing that made Uncharted 2 so special for me was that they visited locations that you really wouldn't see in other games. If you agree, kind of. Like I feel like you know, like maybe like Nepal, Tibet and stuff like. Well, Tibet, I guess, kind of, but like still, it's not something you see very often in games nowadays. Like nowadays, you just have like like urban streets and stuff, whatever. And then that's why I also found like Uncharted 4's locations were kind of like not as unique as Uncharted 2's. Like it was just like Scotland and then like Italy. Yeah, so that's why I really liked Uncharted 2. So I feel like if they were to ever do another Uncharted game and they maybe did like a cool location or something like that, that'd be really cool. So yeah, that's what I would like to see from a future Uncharted game. So let's move on to our number 2. So let's hear your number 2.
All right, for my second game, I will have to do GTA 6 or another GTA game or Grand Theft Auto game, I guess. And I say that because I feel I'm a huge fan, first off, of Rockstar and A series. Specifically, my favorite ones are Vice City, along with GTA 4. And I feel like GTA 5 pushed graphics and you just kind of advanced the technology in a way where it was just so uniquely done, story-wise as well. And I think that Rockstar did an amazing job on it also. Yeah. That's why, yeah.
Alright, yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, so my number 2, it's actually a game that like we know absolutely nothing about, but it's just something that I really want to see happen. We don't exactly know what type of game it would be, but the game I'm talking about is Sucker Punch's next game. So if you didn't know, Sucker Punch is the studio that created the Infamous games. And yeah, I've really enjoyed the Infamous games. I played both Infamous Second Son and First Light. And the only problem I did have with Infamous Second Son and First Light is simply that the stories weren't really that strong. So I feel like Sucker Punch, they're really good at making great gameplay. So Infamous Second Son definitely did have really good gameplay, and it was a really enjoyable game to play. But the weak point of it was obviously its story and its replay value, because the side missions were basically all the same thing over and over again. So yeah, if Sucker Punch was to ever make another Infamous game again, or maybe even something in the same genre or something like that, definitely if they had a good story and good good side missions and stuff like that, I feel like the game would be really good. So yeah, that's my number 2. So let's move on to one of the questions. So this question is what makes a good game, and this might sound kind of vague at first, but basically, I want to know your opinion on basically like what are the good elements of a game that makes it good.
All right, so for me, what makes a good game is the gameplay along with the story. And it's, it doesn't have to be a big open, universe like No Man's Sky, which, by the way, in my opinion, that was an awful game. I spent $93 on that game, and it was just the worst experience of my life. Sean Murray, he knows how to advertise a bad game because that game was just dreadful. It was so bad. But back to the point, back to my opinions. What makes a good game would have to be the story along with the gameplay. I feel like Ubisoft is a good example of this. They know how to make a really, really good story, specifically Watch Dogs or whatever, but their gameplay tends to be broken a bit at times. And then you have Naughty Dog and Rockstar, which they have an equal balance of both good gameplay and good story. And when you have a good, because a lot of people like a good story, and I love a good story, right? And then you always have to have the gameplay, because the gameplay / replay value is something that people consider, because not always do people buy a game just for the story. There's always a multiplayer aspect of it, and you have to have a good, gameplay mechanics or, just unique gameplay in general. Otherwise, people aren't going to play the game. So that, in my opinion, would have to do for a really good game.
Yeah, okay, that's a really good opinion. I was actually thinking about it myself, and basically, in my opinion, I feel like nowadays we seem to be getting only two types of games, which are basically the open world games, like Ubisoft likes to make, and also the heavy RPGs. And simply, to be honest, those aren't genres that I particularly like, especially the RPGs. I tend to not really like those at all. Open world games I am definitely okay with, because as you said, there are definitely some open world games that have good stories. For example, like the Ubisoft games, some of the Assassin's Creed games have been really good. But then again, I feel like nowadays in the gaming industry, people want their games to be bigger and bigger, especially because they want more value out of their games, which is why I think we're getting so many more open world games. Instead of these story-driven linear games that we seem to be getting only once in a while. Like, for example, an Uncharted game is a good example by Naughty Dog, because their games tend to be, basically all of them are story-driven linear games, and Naughty Dog seems to be only like one of the few developers that are doing this still nowadays, because, as I said earlier, people want their games to be bigger and bigger, have lots of replay value, with lots of like side missions and everything. So that's why I feel like
they're way more unique.
What, open world games?
Sorry for cutting you off. Naughty Dog's. Yeah, no. Naughty Dog.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Developers, they're unique. They're creative and they're unique, and a lot of developers seem to lack that. And sometimes they try to like make a recreation of it, and then it just kind of flops. You know what I mean? So yeah,
of course. All right. Yeah, that's actually cool. So back to the question. Definitely falls in line with what you said. I think the game definitely needs to have a good story, so I think that's something Naughty Dog is really good at, and it also needs to have good gameplay, so basically a good balance of both, like what you said. So I think that's what makes a good game. Alright, so let's move on to our number one most anticipated game. What's yours?
Now, I can't wait to say it, and it is. I know this one subscriber of mine, or who's a friend of mine, he can't wait for this game also to come out, and it is Death Stranding.
Oh yeah.
And because
I would have personally put that at like number 4 for me. Like, I was debating whether to put that or God of War for my number 3.
I completely forgot about God of War, so I'm glad you put that in here.
Yeah. So
but Death Stranding for me. Who's the guy who's making it again?
Kojima. Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, Death Stranding looks really interesting in my opinion. I watched a few interviews about it, but I couldn't really understand because he doesn't really speak much English, right? The translator wasn't making. The translator wasn't making any sense to me. He was just talking more or less about the general concepts of the game, and I think it has to do with quantum physics or something, and I have no idea what that is. I guess space. I have no idea, right? I'm not that sophisticated.
Yeah.
But no, it looks like a pretty cool game. I hope it has a nice story and to it, and a deeper meaning, because it just seems like one of those. At first, I thought it was going to be like an environmental kind of game.
Mhm.
That's
what we saw from the
just
trailer,
because
right?
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a type of Stranding.
Mhm.
There's Death Stranding, which I think was basically everything. So all the animals that we saw, washed up on the beach or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that is Death Stranding,
Mhm.
or something like that, or it's a
Yeah.
form of Stranding, or I don't know. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. What's his name? Norman Reedus is in it. I think he plays the main character.
Yeah.
He's also in The Walking Dead. He plays Daryl.
Yep.
But yeah, it looks like a pretty kick-ass game. Can't wait to play it.
Yeah, that's a great choice. Yeah, I would have personally, as I said, I would have put it at number 3 if it wasn't for God of War. But yeah. So, anyways, moving on to my number 1 game. This is also kind of vague because we don't know anything about it. But it's none other than Naughty Dog's next game, obviously, because I am such a big Naughty Dog fan. Been playing their games ever since Uncharted 1, simply because I haven't played Jak and Daxter or Crash Bandicoot or anything like that. As I said before, obviously those games came out a long time ago, so that's why I didn't get to play any of those. But Uncharted is honestly like the franchise that really got me into gaming, and which is why their next game is basically my most anticipated game, even though we don't really know anything about it. Whether it being The Last of Us 2, obviously I enjoyed The Last of Us a lot. I thought it was one of the best games of last generation. Or if it's a completely different new IP, I would like that too. Basically anything that basically has the same formula as all the other Naughty Dog games that we've gotten. Something with a great story, third-person action, great gameplay, something that tells a really unique story. And I really hope that Naughty Dog's able to do it once again. And obviously I have faith in them because they have made so many amazing games that I'm really excited for their next game. Some of the rumors right now is that they're either making a sci-fi game, which I find kind of cool, like in space or something like that. And the other rumor is that they're making a fantasy game, which I am still excited about, but not as much as sci-fi, but still fantasy is kind of cool. But yeah, once again, I'm looking forward to this game no matter what it is. I just love Naughty Dog games because of their story and their gameplay. So yeah, those were yep.
Well, hold on. I have a question. Have you played Overwatch yet? Because I was gonna. Have you ever thought of a combination of Overwatch and Metal Gear Solid?
Well, that would be
stupid, but
well, I'm just thinking about it now.
I think that would be kick-ass for a Naughty Dog game.
I mean,
cool.
That would be cool. Overwatch has really good gameplay, right?
Yeah. I love Overwatch.
Yeah, okay, well, I haven't played Overwatch yet, but I feel like
I know.
The combination of, good game, once again, good gameplay and, great story, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, exactly. That's what we love from Naughty Dog games. So yeah, those were our top 3 games, and we have one final question here to finish off this video. So it's basically, if you could have a sequel to any game, what would it be? So that's actually a hard one.
I'll answer first.
Okay.
Sequel. Because I played back in November for PlayStation Plus. They had The Walking Dead for free on PlayStation.
Yeah. I remember that. It was Walking Dead Season 2 or something, right? I believe.
Yeah, Season 2. Do they have a Season 3? Because if not, I know it's not technically a sequel.
Yeah.
Because Season 2 would have been the sequel, but if they don't have a Season 3, I would love for them to make a Season 3. Telltale Games, they make amazing games. That was my first ever Telltale game, and I just love years after playing the first game. I mean, the second Season 2 of The Walking Dead, and I hadn't even played the first, so I didn't know all the characters and who they were emotionally and stuff, but I still enjoyed every single moment of it. It was so cleverly done, and I really want them to make another sequel.
Wait,
If
so
they haven't already made one.
sorry. Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
It's different characters
Yeah.
from the TV series, right?
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't think
alright.
it has- yeah,
Alright, okay. Hey, that's fine then.
you should you should still watch the show though. That was
Yeah,
really good.
well, I'm thinking about it. You know, I'll see if I have time. But anyways, for me, something I was thinking of that came to the top of my head was an Alan Wake sequel. This is a game that I actually played on PC a few months back, which is really cool. It was basically like my first big PC game that I've played, because honestly I haven't been playing too much PC ever, and I recently got into it. Some of my friends convinced me at school to get started playing on some PC games, and then I've recently like watched some Quantum Break gameplay on the Xbox, and I thought it was kind of cool. I was kind of jealous that we weren't able to play it, obviously, because we're on like PlayStation, that we weren't able to play Quantum Break. So I looked back at some of the other games that the developer made, and one of the games was Alan Wake, and I heard that it was a pretty good game. So I checked on the Steam store, and they actually had it on Steam, so I decided to check it out. And yeah, Alan Wake, it definitely was a really great game. I actually made a review for it on my channel, but if you watch my review, I said the only problem with I had it was the ending, and I felt like the ending was kind of inconclusive. It basically kind of like left us hanging. Yeah, I kind of didn't really enjoy the ending, because I personally would have liked to see a definitive ending to that game. But yeah, I would really like to see a sequel to Alan Wake. Yeah, so that was actually the last question, and we finished our top 3 games already. So yeah, that looks like this is gonna be it for this video. Yeah, so
We hoped you all enjoyed. So basically, both Justin and I were planning on doing this as like almost like a series, I guess. So we basically just kind of relax. We kind of make a video together discussing topics related to games or whatever. We just share questions about it as well, and we're just genuine, just have fun, I guess, while at it.
Yeah, so for basically everybody watching this video on my channel, go check out TheStarkz. I'm going to be leaving his channel in the description below, so make sure to go check him out. He makes lots of great videos, and yeah.
Along with me, likewise, I will be leaving everything you need to know about Justin Gaming in the description below, so you can, refer to the description. And with that all being said, I personally hope you guys enjoyed the video. If not, then like it anyways, because why not? But yeah, I hope to see you guys all in the next episode, I guess you can call it.
Yep.
And
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.